stay here with you. You are a angel, so I am a lucky one. I am a lucky one. You are my favorite song. I am a lucky one. 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 Seasons change, but you're the same. Your love is constant. You've never lost it. Your voice is calling out my name. It makes me miss you, even when I'm with you. Oh, nobody wants to go it alone, and I just wanna stay here with you. You are a angel, so I am a lucky one. I am a lucky one. You are my favorite song. I am a lucky one. 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 I am a lucky one.
A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. I'm your host today. My name is Mary Cynthia, and with me here are
Stephanie Batlomi.
and
Kenneth Kwafanuti.
okay. Now, Speedy Talk is that show where we take up issues affecting the youth, break them down quickly, and also give you room to share your opinions. Today on the show, we are talking about the pressure of being a firstborn. And being the firstborn often means being seen like a second parent, the one to set examples, make sacrifices, and carry out responsibilities early. But how much pressure really comes with that role? Today we are going to dive into there, and you too can be part of this discussion when you call us on 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868 to share your opinion on our focus for today, the pressure of being a firstborn. Okay, like I said, I wasn't here alone. I was here with Stephanie and Kenneth. So Stephanie and Kenneth, how are you guys doing?
Very well.
And you?
Thank you.
All right, I'm fine as well.
All right.
Okay, like I said, our focus for today, the pressure of being a firstborn. And I'm going to start with you, Stephanie. Do you think being the firstborn automatically means carrying more responsibilities?
Being the firstborn. Well, being the firstborn is actually something huge.
Okay.
Yes, and I'll agree that it comes with a lot of responsibilities.
All right.
Yes, because you came out first, so the children coming after you, apart from looking at the parents that give birth to you, to them, they are looking at you. They are looking up to you. Who is the firstborn? Because you are the one that is a child of the family like them.
Yeah.
So they're looking at who you are, what you represent, and okay, your parents are saying something, they're talking to the children, and then they're watching. And they too, they are looking at you like this one has been there before us. So they're watching and looking up to you. And it's what you do that the ones coming before you, that the ones come behind you will follow. So it's indeed, it comes with a lot of responsibilities. Yeah.
Okay.
So firstborns actually need to buckle up and expect more
Okay. If you have just tuned in, this is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And today on the show, our focus is the pressure of being a firstborn. You too can be part of this discussion when you call us on 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868 to share your opinion. Do you think being the firstborn automatically means carrying more responsibilities? Okay, over to you, Kenneth. Do you think being the firstborn automatically means carrying more responsibilities?
All right. Being a firstborn, will I say, yeah, in a way, automatically it comes with that pressure and challenge.
Okay.
You being a firstborn is like you're a second parent to your siblings, those coming behind.
Yeah.
So you have to lead them in the right way. You have to be a role model for them.
Okay.
So you being a firstborn, if you're not straightforward or you're not responsible
Yeah.
and you're not doing what you ought to be doing, I don't think you'll be able to carry that pressure
Okay.
of that firstborn in quote.
Okay. So you definitely think that firstborns have more responsibilities than those that come behind them.
Yes.
Okay. So what kind of responsibilities do, I mean, when we say firstborn responsibilities, what kind of responsibilities are there? Specific roles that they are should I say supposed to play or stuff? Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, my name is Dennis Ihari. I'm driving along the New Jet. I just parked to contribute to what you're saying.
All right,
All right,
Dennis,
Dennis.
contribute. Do
Yeah.
you think being the firstborn? Okay.
Yeah, what I know for sure. I am not one. I'm actually the second born,
Okay.
and yes, but you look at it naturally. I expect that people who are firstborn should be able to take more responsibilities. But I want to digress a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
The whole thing does with foundation. If you have a compact family that the father and the mother have instilled disciplines in the children,
Yeah.
then definitely it follows that way. But in
Okay.
the event where you are not, I think I want to look at it biblically that the people who should even be more important in the family is the Moses of every family. It must not definitely be the firstborn.
Okay.
Sometimes you have some firstborn that are even more, selfish, that they don't even think about their siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in an event where you have a Moses that is identified to be the person to take the family to the promised land,
Yeah.
it mustn't, definitely only must be a firstborn. It could be
Okay.
anybody amongst the siblings.
All
But
right.
the most important is the foundation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the foundation of how the parents brought up the children.
All right.
Because probably because my father my late father was a teacher, and he made it that even me, you have siblings rivalries, but it was just not possible that I could wake up and not greet my elder brother in the morning. Say, good morning, brother.
Mhm.
You understand? So if
Yeah.
you have this kind of discipline on how you bring up your children, definitely the bond is there, and then naturally, whether the firstborn or not, whoever becomes the Moses of the family will be there for everybody.
All right.
And that's what I want to say.
Okay. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for your contribution, Dennis. Okay, Dennis thinks that being the firstborn, it doesn't have to, the responsibilities doesn't just have to do with who was born first. It could be anyone, depending on the foundation, like he said, the foundation in which someone was brought up in. So the way he's putting it, if anyone decides to be the Moses of the family, then that person is the one carrying the most
The burden.
responsibilities. What do you think, Stephanie? Do you think it mostly has to do with how, should I say, the parents train one of their children to carry that responsibility, or is it usually the firstborn that just automatically carries that role?
Well, we are looking at the firstborn because they came first. Okay, so the role that they play that we often look up to them for, I think is more of morals, because you find out that in most situations when a first child it's not responsible and doesn't takes the teaching of their parents, and then this firstborn goes astray, you find out that the children coming behind follow suit.
Okay.
In most cases, because they watch what their elder one is doing. So if they see that whatever their elder one does and goes away with it, that is the route they're also going to follow. They are following after him or her. So that's why this responsibility of being morally strong or being good, it lies mostly on the firstborn.
Okay.
Yes, because they are looking up to him. The other children are watching him.
Okay.
Then maybe if we say responsibility of shouldering the taking care of his younger ones.
Okay.
Most parents might not be buoyant enough, so they might decide to concentrate more on the firstborn and say, okay, fine, let's just train the firstborn first, and then those coming behind should wait. Yes, so in a situation like this, the burden is now on the firstborn to go to school, make it in life, and then come back to train his younger ones.
More like investment.
Yes, so the burden will be so much on the firstborn in such situation.
Okay. If you have just tuned in, this is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And today our focus is the pressure of being a firstborn. You too can be part of this discussion when you call us on 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. To share your opinion. Do you think being the firstborn automatically means carrying more responsibilities? Okay, so back to you, Kenneth. I was asking, do you think there are specific pressures or responsibilities that we can say firstborns usually carry, since most people often look at their firstborns as the one who was supposed to like pave way or lead the way for their younger ones? Do you think there are certain responsibilities that firstborns often carry?
Sure, there are. Okay, let's see academically. As a firstborn, if you're not academically sound, that will in a way affect your siblings coming behind. Because, okay, let's say for instance, they go to school, they are given an assignment to do. Then at the end of the day, they fall back to you as the firstborn to assist. And then you find it difficult to aid them to do that. Or maybe you do it for them, but at the end of the day, they take it to school and they say
fail.
it's wrong. They come back and say, we have another brother here. He cannot even, he knows nothing.
Okay.
So academically too, that burden is there.
them.
And then when, okay, let's say for instance, parents give birth to you as a firstborn, and then you've grown up, and then another child comes in. At times, that responsibility of you nursing that child too is there. It's another pressure.
Taking care of the younger ones.
You need to take care of that your younger sibling coming up. So it's quite the pressure is quite enormous there. Though, just like the caller said, there are some firstborn with all maybe their parents have done. They are still not on the right track.
Like you said, selfish.
Yes.
Okay.
So at times maybe it's even in between that somebody even comes up to like, oh, at times you go to some families, they say, that one is a firstborn. Forget about that guy. What is it? They will put you aside. And you prefer to work with the other ones coming behind.
Okay. So, Stephanie, what do you have to say apart from the academic background that Kenneth mentioned? Do you think there are other responsibilities that firstborns carry to actually pave way or lead their younger ones?
The burdens are much like training their younger ones to school. Yes, most firstborns are faced with this challenge training their younger ones to school. And then it is most firstborns have this responsibility of, okay, everybody looks up to them. Okay, even the parents are looking up to, okay, if I die, it should be this firstborn that will be the one to bury me. Firstborns, they have the responsibility of going to pursue, like most firstborns are their parents' next of kin. Yes, so they have this burden of going about to make sure their parents' business thrive when they are no longer there. Okay. The pressure is on them. You go to pursue their death benefits. You try to make sure their business doesn't go down. Like most families that have, they have family businesses. When they are no longer there, it's on you now to carry on the family's business.
All right.
To carry on the family's dignity. The family have created a name. Yes, that everyone has to maintain. So once the parents are no longer there, you the firstborn, you become the parent. Okay. So much is now on you to make sure that the legacy that your parents left behind, it's carried on, it's built. So by the time you fail, it means if time is not taken, the family becomes shaky. Yes, so that it's so much on you to carry the family's name, the good name they've created over time. Okay. Yes, and even if the name has not been created, even if the family even though there was no business to look after, and the parents are no longer there, the burden is even more on you. Okay. Yes, to work hard. Yes, you have to work harder now to make sure that you carry your younger ones along.
Okay. If you have just tuned in, this is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And today our focus is the pressures of being a firstborn. You too can be part of this discussion when you call us on 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868 to share your opinions on what kind of pressures you think firstborns face. Okay, so Kenneth, we have been talking about the kind of pressures that firstborns face, and you said, okay, you mentioned academically. Yes. Okay, so do you think that it's okay that it's just, should I say, the firstborn that should, let's say, have that knowledge? It's not everyone that is going to be gifted, no matter how much you try. It's not everyone that is going to be academically sound and stuff like that. So if that person happens to be the firstborn, is it fair to say that the younger one should then be the one with that responsibility to actually even be the one leading the firstborn, let's say in that academic area, something like that? Do you think it's fair to leave it for the firstborn or anyone at all who is sound?
Taking that position of a firstborn, I say no. But if it comes to aiding academically, it's still okay. Okay. It's still okay for me.
For any member of the family, any other sibling.
Sure.
So actually, okay. How about you, Stephanie? Do you think any other person at all should be the one to?
Yes, of course. That shouldn't just, not everything should be left for the firstborn to handle. Yes, the other siblings should also be given a chance. All right. Yes, to show themselves.
Okay. Okay, let me ask you, Stephanie, are you a firstborn?
Well, I'm not a firstborn.
Okay.
In between, and I think that's the best position.
Okay. So you're in between, but I'm sure you've watched your elder sibling who is the firstborn. He or she, you've watched the person strive. Can you say there's any pressure at all you noticed, like something that he or she constantly faced while you were there with? Do you think of any pressure at all?
Well, what I can think of, I remember that back then when we were growing up, like there was this pressure of like you have to be protecting your younger ones. Yes, and most of the times, I could hear my father crying like, "Hey, you're the firstborn, so you were supposed to have been there for them. You're supposed to have protected them. Why did you come back before them? Why did you leave them behind? You should have carried them along." When we go somewhere and then you find that he leaves us, comes back, and then so there was actually this pressure of, watch over them, be there for them, standing for them, make sure they are safe, make sure they are protected, So those kind of pressures are actually there.
Okay. Yes. So over to you, Kenneth. Are you a firstborn?
Well, I say partially I am.
Okay.
because well, my sister was first. She's late though. So as a boy who came second, and then as a first boy, the responsibility has been shifted to me.
Yes.
Okay.
So I feel that pressure
All right. Okay.
of being a first boy and partially
Yeah.
being a firstborn.
Okay, if you have just tuned in, this is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And today our focus is the pressures of being a firstborn. You too can be part of this discussion when you call us on 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Calling to share your thoughts and opinion. Okay, so Stephanie,
Yes.
how does being a firstborn affect personal dreams and choices? You know, you'd find some people saying, I had to leave this one to sacrifice my own. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So how does being a firstborn affect personal dreams and choices?
Yes, because there has been situation whereby a firstborn has to drop out of school. Yes, and say, let my younger ones go.
Okay.
He goes to hustle, so to say. He goes to work, do all the menial jobs he can to make sure he trains his younger ones to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this will makes him to keep his own dreams on hold. He's out there trying and making sure that his younger ones succeed, and he feels that okay, if they succeed, they will also give him a chance and his life will be better. And I think at times it might even turn out that this younger ones succeed and they might not even consider this firstborn that laid down his life for them. Yeah, I'm sure there have been cases like that it doesn't even work, comes out well with the first one. But they sacrifice a lot. Like, let me drop out, let me just go and make sure I work, I do all I can to send them to school. So his dreams are put on hold. So yes, there have been cases like this that I've seen.
Okay, but since that's not always the case, for firstborns who have, let's say, buoyant parents or parents who can actually provide, you know, while some people cannot actually provide or cater for their family or are met with some kind of situations where they have to manage, some families are well to do. So in those families that are well to do you think that the firstborn's personal dreams and choices are still affected?
And I don't even think they should be affected, okay? If the parents are there and they have the monies to everyone, the firstborn also has his dreams. He has his life to live. So it shouldn't be placed on him. No burden should be placed on him that he must do this. Okay, if he wants to do it, he should do it out of love. Okay, that I'm taking this decision, okay, to stay back or to do something, to sacrifice. It should be his personal decision, not like it should be a pressure on him to step down or be forced to do a thing for his younger ones to also strive. Everyone has their destiny, so the firstborn should also be given a chance.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Remember, you too can be part of this discussion when you call us on 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. To share your thoughts, how does being the firstborn affect personal dreams and choices? Okay, so over to you, Kenneth. How does being the firstborn affect personal dreams and choices?
Okay, just like Stephanie said, imagine you stepping aside for your younger ones to go to school.
Okay.
It's a big sacrifice.
Yeah.
And at times, even when you do that, there are some siblings you do that for them, and at the end of the day, they tend not to recognize what you've done, the sacrifice you did.
Yes.
I watched a movie like that, whereby the firstborn had to step aside.
Yeah.
He was not that, he had to step aside. Based on that, he didn't get the required education he needed.
Okay.
So he was more like an illiterate. He sponsored that one into school. By the time this guy went to school, he was a big man, and he tended to look down on somebody who had sacrificed for him to be what he is today in life. So at times it happens that way.
All right.
And within you feel so bad. if you had known it would turn out this way.
But should firstborns actually be taking up those responsibilities and then doing all that?
In a situation whereby you come from a poor background where your parents cannot do that, and you feel at times your parents will be the one to say, oh, allow your younger ones to go.
But when you take up that responsibility as a firstborn, are you supposed to be feeling like, I'm doing this so that when they end up becoming something, they have to pay me back? Or
no. Humanly within yourself, you should know that, okay, if somebody has done this for me, you need to have that kind of gratitude to say that, oh, yeah, somebody did this for me.
Okay.
Personally, if I'm sacrificing for you, I'm hoping that by the time you've made it, you should also recognize that I did this for you and you should pay me back. I've kept my life on hold for you, yes. So I'm doing it. I'm even telling you that you see what I'm doing. By the time you go out there, you make it, you really need to also help me to stand on my feet.
You pay me
yes.
back. Okay. Okay, if you have just tuned in, this is SPEEDy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And today our focus is the pressures of being a firstborn. You too can be part of this discussion when you call us on 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. To share your opinion, how does being the firstborn affect personal dreams and choices? Okay, so Stephanie, your comments quite caught my attention. You mean, so if you're doing something now for your younger siblings, hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Mark, calling from Akpere.
Okay, let's hear from you, Mark.
Yes, in my family, my parents trained the first.
Mark, can you move away from your radio set or you turn it down?
Okay. So they trained him very well in all levels of school.
Okay.
In fact, they were telling him that if he grew up, did a good job, he should have trained us. Luckily for my parents, the guy was so greedy that he did not do us anything.
You see?
Those little things that our father acquired self, the guy just escaped with them. Because even the guy's children's name, they look so biased from us. So it's not like that the first one will take care of the family or have some responsibilities for the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Mark, for your contribution. Wow. That's also, should I say, I don't know how to comment on that take, but you know that investment, like we said, investing in the firstborn to maybe take responsibility for the younger ones later, and then imagine that they end up turning greedy. Hello? Okay, let's go on. Imagine investing in your firstborn to take up the responsibility where you are lagging, or where you maybe not necessarily because you're lagging, but maybe as parents sometimes you end up getting tired on the way. Hello? Okay, you end up getting tired in the line, and then you kind of, let's say, want to allow your firstborn do some of the work for you, and then at the end of the day all your investments goes to waste because that son or daughter of yours is greedy and then refuses to take responsibility for his other siblings. How would you comment on that situation, Stephanie?
It's actually very bad, and it's so unfortunate that these things happen. Yes, parents have actually looked up to feel that the firstborn should be everything. The firstborn is not a superhuman. He's just like every other child you're going to give birth to. So even parents, let's stop putting so much. Just look at your children. Okay, just try to discover what each one has. These children have different characters. They have different traits that they are born with. So look at what they are doing. Look at their performances in school. So it mustn't be all about the firstborn. So you don't just end up putting all your hopes on the firstborn. At the end of the day, you end up losing everything. No. So don't just make it all about the firstborn. Look at the other children you have as well. Look at their abilities. What they can do. Look at what they can afford. Some of the other children are more passionate. Some of these firstborns are even very careless.
Okay.
So you can't even try handling things over to them to take care of. So look at these other ones too that are more passionate, that you see that can take care of the other younger ones more, and then hand over responsibilities to them also. Let's not just be all about the firstborns.
Don't saddle the whole responsibility on the firstborns. Okay, if you have just tuned in, this is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and today our focus is the pressures of being the firstborn. You too can be part of this discussion when you call us on 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. to share your opinion. How does being the firstborn affect personal dreams and choices? Okay, so over to you, Kenneth. I want you to comment on what our caller said. He said as he growing up the middle child, the parents were investing more on the firstborn to then grow up and then handle his younger siblings, but he then turned out to be someone who was greedy and then did not actually take care of his siblings like the parents expected.
That's a sign of irresponsibility.
Okay.
That's why you heard what Stephanie said.
Okay.
You need to know
the
strengths and weaknesses of all your children you have, so that you don't just put everything on one person.
Okay. All right.
So that at the end of the day, you don't get disappointed. You could imagine, selling all the parents had acquired.
Yeah.
But if it was somebody else, maybe if the parents are late, what we'll do is they will say, okay, let's split this amongst ourselves so that each and everyone has something to go with. But you taking everything and then looking at the other ones as if they don't matter, it doesn't go well.
Okay. So do you think...
And he's trying to bring a kind of separation between his own family and that of the siblings. Okay, you could imagine that it gets to that level of even the children not even mingling together.
Yeah.
At times, that's how you get to.
Yeah, it gets to that level. True. Okay, so do you think, though, that parents are putting too much, they are too harsh on their firstborns, putting that so much pressure on them to actually turn out to become something better than themselves did, just to take care of the younger siblings? I mean, if you have children, should you be taking it as this is an investment to take care of the other of my children, or should all of them just be these are my children, anyone who makes it first and stuff like that? Do you think it's fair on the side of parents?
That's not quite fair on the side of the parents. This shouldn't be heaped on one person. This should be splitted. Whoever comes out, well,
okay,
that's good.
Okay.
At times, maybe it will be the last born of a family that will be the Jesus of a family.
The Moses of the family,
the
like,
Moses,
like
okay,
then
like
he said.
yeah. And that's the only person that will even bring the family's name out at the end of the day. So this shouldn't be heaped on the firstborn.
All right.
Everybody should be treated equally.
Okay. So, Stephanie, what do you think on that? Do you think it's fair that the parents kind of put so much pressure on their firstborns, taking them as an investment to actually look after their younger siblings? Or do you think they put too much pressure?
Yeah, I think parents also are to be blamed for this, because you see some parents, once they give birth to this, once the firstborn comes in, they begin to ring it in your ear that remember, you're the firstborn. You'll be the one to even take care of you're supposed to be the one to train your younger one in school. They make it look like the firstborn are supposed to train the lastborn in school. So they say, this one is your own child, this one is your own responsibility. So,
hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Stephanie, calling from Kansho.
Okay, Stephanie from Kansho. Can we get your opinion on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Parents really put stress on firstborn. See, example me like this. 247, they will call me money. At the money bank. And they plug money from tree. No, now, Abba.
Okay.
They're supposed to calm down, Lord. Not the only us supposed to feed the family now. See, we girls like this. Me, I don't be man. My follower and my actors, they know they disturb am. But me, money 247.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your contribution, Stephanie. Your namesake, Stephanie, is actually calling on parents to calm down because she feels the pressure is too much
on her. Yeah, despite working so hard, So that's what I'm saying. Parents should not make it look like, she don't put this idea in their younger ones. Yes, the ones behind. Because once you say this thing and the younger ones still hear, you see most of them are relaxed. They feel, no, it's the firstborn that is supposed to do all the hard stuff, the hard work, and then me, I'm just supposed to sit and relax and enjoy. No. So let's look at, every child has their destinies. Every child have what they can contribute. So let's look at all those children and then see what each one can do, so that we don't put so much pressure on the firstborns. Any one of your children can make it. Let's when we have the strength, when we can, let's do our best for everyone, because we don't know who it's actually going to be the Moses of the family. So anyone can come up to be. Yes.
Okay. If you have just tuned in, this is SPEEDy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And today our focus is the pressures of being a firstborn. You too can be part of this discussion when you call us on 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868 to share your opinions. Is it fair for parents to saddle the whole responsibilities on their firstborn to take care of their younger siblings? Okay, so Kenneth, what do you think, or what would you advise hold on. Hello. Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm by name Barnabas Onguga.
All right, Barnabas, let's hear you.
I'm calling from North Bank.
All right, let's get your opinion.
This topic is very, very interesting. In my family, I'm the last born.
All right.
But probably I do the work of the firstborn.
Okay.
Because all the firstborn is not with me, and the second one too, they are not with us.
Oh, okay.
So, and they went to school. So I'm the one that's taking care of them. So I'm the one that's taking the whole responsibility. You should not focus on the firstborn, because the firstborn has a lot. The time that I was small, I thought that my elder brother is the one that is going to take care of me and the whole of us in our family. But this time that I'm getting adolescent age, so I think that no, we can't focus on him. We have to try our best. We cannot focus on him again.
Okay. All right.
That is on and yes.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. Okay. Like he said, it doesn't always go as planned when parents expect, or even the younger siblings are expecting that, okay, the firstborn is going to take it up for us and all of that, because you don't know what would end up happening and stuff like that. Okay, so like I was asking Kenneth, what advice would you give to firstborn struggling under family expectations?
Okay, my advice would be that you try to communicate with your parents. Open discussions. Discuss with your parents. You tell them you are not perfect. That's perfectionism. You are not perfect, so they shouldn't heap everything on you. There should be shared responsibility amongst the siblings, so they don't always look up on you that okay, everything goes back to you. It should be a collective thing. You come together and then support your parents. But okay, just like the other caller Stephanie said, she said okay, every day they call her money. Okay, you have other ones too. Why not call? Okay, I called this one today. Okay, let me not call him. Let me call the other person. Okay, by the time you come together collectively, you'll be able to achieve more for your family or your parents.
Okay.
rather than the pressure coming to the firstborn all the time.
Okay,
it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you.
Okay, so you definitely advise firstborns to have open conversations with
the
their parents.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about you, Stephanie? What would you advise to firstborns struggling under family expectations?
Yes, I think let's start from the foundation where this thing comes from. Yes, the people who put these ideas in the firstborns in the first place, which are the parents, should do better, please.
Okay.
Yes, so when it's also getting overwhelming, like Kenneth said, let the firstborn speak up. They should not just try to be the superheroes. They can't do it all alone. So when it's becoming too overwhelming, they should also speak up and say how they feel. So the burden don't have to be all on them. So let parents watch out for all their children and then strike a balance, share responsibilities. So it doesn't just have to be on the firstborns alone.
Okay. So you know that some parents look at this as you being unappreciative when you try to call them out of, okay, you are putting this amount of pressure on me and I will not be able to do something for myself because I'm constantly thinking about my siblings and stuff like that. What would you advise those kind of firstborns who find themselves in that situation? What would you advise they then do when the parents are not getting that point?
They can only do their best.
Okay.
They can only do their best. After all being said and done, if it still doesn't go well, they should follow their dreams. They have their lives to live. So parents should try to understand. But if they don't, those children also have their lives. This set of people called firstborns also have their lives to live. So they should be given the chance, yes.
All right. And that's all for Speedy Talk today on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. We have been looking at the pressure of being a firstborn, and it's clear that while it teaches responsibility, balance is key. So firstborns don't lose themselves in the process. Okay, so don't forget to remember, not to forget to remember. True support means sharing responsibilities, not leaving it all alone to one person. Stay tuned for more of our exciting programs here on Speed FM. You've been listening to Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I've been your host, Mary Cynthia. I wasn't here alone. I was here with
Stephanie
and
Kenneth Kwafanuti.
And together we are saying have a nice day.
Hello, my Cudi. Asking Radio is here. Tell everyone you know. The wait is over. 98.